Organizing in your Google Drive is just like organizing in any other computer storehouse. It takes time. It does take dragging. It does take looking at individual files, but I will say that having little screenshots of things can definitely help. Please keep in mind that these four things that show at the very top of your drive, they're called quick access. They're just the last four things I happen to open. They are not the files themselves. It's just a quick link. It's kind of like your recent folder on your computer. It's not actually where the files are stored. It's whatever you most recently accessed. So, a couple things that you can change to help you with sorting is if you go up to the corner here, you have option to do a list view. Hopefully this will load. Or I can do the tile view. And depending on which way I like to look at my things, sometimes the list view is easier, sometimes the tile view is a little bit easier for me. I need to reload my drive here. So this list view will allow me to see things in different ways. I can also change how I sort my drive. Okay, there we go. Don't want to see the info. Right here, you can click on name and it will allow you to change and sort the files in a different way. It will always group your folders together and then the miscellaneous files together. Seem to be having a lot of issues with my Google Drive here. Okay, so you'll notice my view has changed. And in this view, I can actually see when it was last modified, who the owner of the folder is, the file size of the folder, if applicable. And then as I go down further, you'll notice that I have my regular docs. So I can go back up and I can always tap this to change back into the other format, which I'm going to do because that is my preferred organization. I like to see my folders in tiles. To organize, I can click new. And when I click new, should pop up with the option for me to add a folder. So I am having a little bit of trouble with my Google Drive right now, but when I click new, I can then add a folder. Here we go. I can add a folder. It will ask me how I want to name my folder and I can click create. Then I can take docs from my giant list of docs and I can drag them to whatever folder I want. If you have multiple docs that you want to drag, you can hold down Control and click on whatever docs you want to drag, and you'll notice how all three of these turn blue. That means that when I go to drag, all three of these will drag at once. So that makes it a little bit easier to organize things. If it's hard to scroll up and down, you can actually drop your folders down here on the side and I will see all my folders listed over here. And I can also drag over this way. And there I can drag into folders of folders. So that way it will allow me to be a little bit more organized as I go through my drive. So a couple of tidbits on sorting and organizing. Just know that it does take time. Setting up processes like organizing your file when you first create it will definitely cut down on that. Although linking your desktop with your Google Drive is great, it can also create a lot more in your Google Drive that you have to deal with. When you do link your desktop with your Google Drive, know that those will show up in a separate section under computers. So I can access things that I have under computers as well. And that's kind of some basics to get you started on organizing your Google Drive.